You join me today as we face two tough matches, one in the Champions League and one in the Premier League. Hello and welcome to episode 92 of Making Chelsea Stand Proud. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have two games for you. First up, Real Madrid, a home tie in the Champions League. Last 16, first leg, and then we travel to Old Trafford, where we don't... it's poor hunting ground for us. I'm not quite sure why David Stanchelski has changed back to a new gen picture. I will sort that out in just a moment. It keeps doing this to me. I'm not sure why that's happening, but anyway, and it's Premier League match day 28 as we head towards the end of the season in the Premier League. And don't forget, if you do enjoy today's episode, then make sure you leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with everything that's happening here on this particular series and indeed on this channel. And since you were last with us, nothing has happened really, because we've not played any more games. 3-0 win against Luton Town in the FA Cup 5th round. And of course, then we played Leicester in the Premier League, a 3-1 win, and a dress rehearsal for the FA Cup quarter-final, which is a repeat of that particular game. Barbosa, of course, in quite a good form at the moment. He scored a few goals along the way just recently, and he's doing very, very, very well. Just don't realise why we hadn't played him quite so often as we have just recently, and he's been doing wonders for us. And I think certainly our unbeaten run here is partly down to him. Medical centre we're going to have to go to because Josko Gvardiol is out. He's going to miss both the legs of the Champions League, which is really annoying because he'd been going very well, and Ben Chilwell has a twisted knee. He's out for a couple of games. May miss the game today, but Gvardiol, he's come into the side, and to be honest, he's hit the ground running. We've been more than happy with him, and it's very, very disappointing that we've got to stand him down at the moment. He's made, says here, 2 appearances. Is that all he's made? Continental 2. Anyway, he scored 4 goals all told, 7 and 4. He scored 2 and 1 in the Premier League. That's right, 2 and 1 in the league. He's 3 and 1 in the cup, and 2 and 2 in European games. So he's provided a little bit of extra impetus to us anyway. That's the main thing that's happened. The Premier League, a recap of how we finished up at the end of last episode. We are top on 70 points. Manchester City now have played their game in hand, and they are 9 points behind us. And then come Liverpool on 55, 15 points adrift of us. Manchester United have played one more game. If you remember, they were about 2 or 3 games behind us. They're now 1 game in front of us. We play them in the second game of the episode. They are on 55 points as well. And then come Newcastle, Arsenal and Southampton in the rest of the European places. Southampton going very well this season, of course. Newcastle also doing reasonably well. And at the other end of the table, almost certainly looking as if they're about to drop. West Ham going down to the Championship. 5 straight losses, as have Norwich, who are on 22 points, 10 points above West Ham. Both of them are adrift. I mean, we're talking about Norwich 5 points adrift of Leeds United, and West Ham 15 points. I mean, they've only scored 12 points all season, so seems remotely unlikely they're going to catch it unless they hit a real big bit of form very soon. and Aston Villa taking up the last relegation space at the moment, but all to play for in those bottom three there. Right, without any more to do, let's get on with the episode. It's Real Madrid, our first team up. We've played them 5 times today, just one game, drawn 2 and lost 2. So that one game that we did win was the second leg at the Bernabeu, a 2-1 win, which I didn't really expect, but we were undone by a 1-1 draw in the first leg. On that occasion, Barbosa, the scorer then. Cruz, the other player. Barbosa getting us the equaliser, but couldn't find a way through. Otherwise, we'd have progressed in that quarter-final. Let's hope it doesn't get knocked out in the last 16 by Real Madrid. We played them in the league phase back in 2024. Lost them 3-1 on that occasion at Stamford Bridge. And don't want a repeat of the result. Lukaku, of course, getting the on the score sheet. And Album Valverde earlier this season, because we did play them in the league phase. We lost 2-0 on that occasion at the Bernabeu. So it's going to be a tough second leg. The first leg's not going to be any easier, but we do need to get a result. So let's go and have a look at the team then that will face Real Madrid in this first leg of the Champions League round of 16. And before we look at the teams, these are the fixtures for today: Chelsea and Real Madrid, Rangers and Juventus. And second legs of the other games being played today. Barcelona are 2 down to Manchester City, but obviously at the Nou Camp, or wherever they're playing at the moment, because the Nou Camp's been redone, and Wolves are 1 up against Fiorentina, but again, they're away from home today. Let's see what the results come out as, but also what our team looks like. And this is how the team looks for this Champions League last 16 first leg. And I've just realised in setting the team up that we are struggling, really tired for a start off, and secondly got a lot of players that are not completely fit, and Rodrigo's also picking up an injury in training, which doesn't help us in the slightest, and we're struggling a little bit, so we've had a little bit of a jiggle round. Maganin in goal then, Cucurella, Koulibaly, Fofana and Garcia playing out on the right. Reece James is tired and wouldn't see the game out, probably wouldn't see the half out, to be fair. Sorry, Mike. So Garcia is out there, Koulibaly and Fofana in central defence. Dewsbury Hall and Milinkovic-Savic in central midfield. Koeman, Mount and Barbosa are the attacking midfield, sitting behind Havertz, and then we have on the bench Karnasecchi, James, Fernandes, Tell, Timber, Kante, Sterling, Fratisi, Kovacic, Broja, Angerin and Rodrigo. And this is how the two sides line up: 4-2-3-1. And Real Madrid, they are playing a 4-1-4-1, effectively, or 4-3-3, whichever way you look at it. And as the teams come out, we'll recap the teams for you. Real Madrid playing all white, we're playing in all blue. Our first highlight, 7 minutes in, and Real Madrid with a goal kick as they come forward and moving the ball around nicely. Cross that ball in, Koulibaly heads it to Cucurella. Cucurella, though, only manages to head it into the path of a Real Madrid player, which isn't good. We don't want silly mistakes like that. And it's into the area. Oh, and it's in. Lukaku, of course. I think he was offside. Oh, no, he's not. And they go 1 up after 8 minutes. And Lukaku scoring against us. And he'll be pleased with that. Garcia to Sergi. Garcia crosses it in. It's cleared. Lukaku has gone off injured. Koulibaly. Savic. I'm not sure who's replaced him. Actually, that's a good point. We should check that out now before we go any further. He's come off. He's injured. He's got potential foot injury. Pepe has come on. And I'd seen the injury come up, but I hadn't thought, well, we need to check this bit out as well, which we've done now. Keep close control on him. That ball launched forward to Koulibaly, under that to Dewsbury Hall. Fofana. Garcia. Looking for a way through here. We need to try and get back on level terms. Oh! Cucurella makes a mistake. And we go 2 down. We effectively have lost this. Oh, no. Well, luckily, Magnan hangs on to that ball. Courtois gets the ball back underway. And needs something to happen here. We're not doing very well. Cucurella under that. Dewsbury Hall into the path of Koeman. Dewsbury Hall following up and mopping up. Koulibaly. Dewsbury Hall. Koulibaly. Cucurella. Koulibaly. Fofana. Savic. Dewsbury Hall pokes one out looking for Barbosa, I think it was. Mount. Barbosa's in and Barbosa misses. Half-time comes. No more highlights. Real Madrid, 4 shots, 2 on target, 1.20. We've had 7 shots, just the 1 on target, 0.78, 52% of the possession. We need to get back on terms. If we go to the Bernabeu, even 1 behind, I don't really fancy our chances. I think we would have realistically want to take at least 2-goal lead to the Bernabeu to stand any chance. And with 63 minutes on the clock, we're making a number of changes. Kingsley Koeman having a bad day. He's been replaced by Matthias Tell. Savic has come off in central midfield. Kante on for him. And Gabriel Barbosa, I think we may have just pushed him 1 game too much. He's not performing today. 5.9 and in danger of being booked. He's come off and Raheem Sterling replaces him. Courtois with a free kick to Rudiger. Valverde did us trouble earlier in the season. Valverde's back in there. Pavard, and they've got a second. Pepe, the scorer, and we're going to get knocked out in the last 16. We're not even going to get... we've played so well of late, and as I say, I think... Oh, that's curled in. I just get the feeling that with the with injuries and stuff that we've got, not making excuses, but I think we're just struggling today. And with 77 minutes on the clock, making our final 2 changes, Garcia has come off and we've brought on Reece James, and then Yaron Timber has come on in place of Koulibaly, who wasn't having a good game. In fact, nobody's had a fantastic game, including Kai Havertz. And I am tempted, I'm very tempted to just have a shuffle around here. Let's move Mount out there. Havertz down here. Put Matthias Tell up front. And Havertz as a shadow striker. We'll move Matthias Tell over. Havertz in there. Right, let's see what happens here. Mason Mount. I don't know what his best position is over there. That's inverted winger by the looks of it. Let's put him as an inverted winger then. Right, let's see if we can get a goal back just to take a deficit of 1 goal to the Bernabeu would be good. I think 2, and I think we're out of it before we even get 1 foot in the Bernabeu. And it's all over. We're going to the Bernabeu with a 2-0 deficit. Can we turn it around? It's happened before, but it's feeling very unlikely. 12 shots, just the 2 on target. 1.13, 47% of the possession. They had 9 shots, 3 on target, 53% of the possession, and a player of the match was Junior Vinicius. I think we could be out of it already, but hey, who knows? And now we've got a tough match against Manchester United at Old Trafford to come. Oh dear. And disappointing, very disappointing. Rangers have beaten Juventus by 2-1 to take to Italy for their second leg. But what is also interesting, Barcelona have been knocked out by Manchester City, and Wolves have managed to get past Fiorentina. They won 1-0 at Fiorentina, 2-0 on aggregate. They're through to the last 8 of the quarterfinals of this particular competition, and I think we could be on the way out. Well, always worth a look at this particular screen. Match momentum, as you'll see. First half, we probably had the edge. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes over there. So they scored, of course, in there. But the second half, they were all over us. We never really got back into that game at all. Once half-time comes, they had a half-time team talk, just shut us out, basically, and took their chances when they came along. And on the other side of the draw, this is what's been happening. Bayern Munich leading Monaco 3-2. Monaco will be happy with that, with Bayern Munich having to have the home leg first. Everton and Celtic played out a 0-0 draw. Liverpool beating Hellas Verona by 4-2. They were 5-2 up in the first leg, so 9-4 on aggregate. And Paris Saint-Germain getting a 3-0 win over Leicester, making it 4-1 altogether, 1-1. Of course, after the first leg. So Liverpool and Paris Saint-Germain through to the next round as it stands. Well, nothing else to report in news, which means that we've come through to this, our second game of the episode against Manchester United at Old Trafford, as we've already touched on earlier in the episode. Our record against them at their place, to be honest, is somewhat iffy. We've never beaten them at Old Trafford. We did beat them on penalties, but effectively didn't win the game outright. So our history is 0-0, 1-0 loss, 3-3 draw, 2-1 loss, and just recently a 2-1 loss in the semi-final second leg of the FA Cup. And we've been poor in cup competitions this season, of course. And just checking on the manager situation against Pochettino. Really tell us a great deal. So that's how it is. We need to get a result today, if at all possible. So let's go and have a look at the team that will face Manchester United. It's match day number, and I've forgotten what match day number it is. Just bear with me a second. I will check my sheet. 28. Match day 28 in the Premier League. And this is the team that will face Manchester United in this Premier League game. It's a Maganan continuing in goal. Chilwell, Garcia, Timber and James make the defensive line. Kovacic and Fratisi making a start in midfield. Koeman out on the left. Mount in the central attacking midfield. Sterling makes a start out on the right. He hasn't played or made some starts out there for a while. Barbosa having a poor game last time out. Havertz continues to lead the line up front. Karnasecki, Koulibaly, Fernandes, Cucurella, Fofana, Savic, Barbosa, Dewsbury Hall and Matthias Tell on the bench. And this is how the two sides line up. Mauricio Pochettino is the manager, and this is how the Manchester United team look. It's Erga Khan in goal, Room and Dalot as the wing backs, Varane and Maguire in central defence. Stash is the defensive midfielder. Sanchez and Casemiro are the central mids. Jadon Sancho and Weir are the wide players sitting behind Jonathan David. And then that's how our side lines up. But Henderson, Mancini, Anthony, Vallejo, Chalobah, Wan-Bissaka, Inanyo, Bowery and Ericsson make up the rest of the bench. Confirmation of the two teams as the teams come out. Chilwell with a throw in. A long throw. It's cleared by Maguire. Fratisi. Fratisi out to Chilwell. Back to Fratisi. Fratisi crosses it looking for James. Didn't quite find him, but he's tied it again. Fratisi making his one of his starts. I don't say it's his first start. Kovacic losing that in the tackle, but he's straight back and won it back. He's got Timber in support. Timber. Fratisi again. Mount through to Havertz. Havertz puts it away. Question of offside. Did look a bit offside, to be fair. Oh, dear. Oh, no, it's not. He's onside. He's onside. And we go 1-up after 15 minutes. Fratisi making that through to Mount. Mount threads it. He was onside. Through the legs of the goalkeeper. 1-0. We'll see the line now. Here it is. It was very close. Kovacic coming forward. Ball threaded in and well won. Who's that? Koeman. Koeman tries to go and saved on the line. It was Havertz trying to get it again. And I'm not sure if it was Fratisi started all of that. Chilwell to Kovacic. Kovacic loses the ball. That's twice he's lost the ball. Very simply. And Sancho is in, but James tracking back nicely. Maganan goes out wide to Chilwell. Watch Kovacic. He's not on form today. Chilwell gets out there, crosses it deep, looking for Fratisi, but Fratisi wins it, and he's good at winning those tackles. James, Fratisi again. Fratisi put it in the back of the net. His first goal since he's joined us. Reece James the assist. It's 2-0 on 32 minutes. Now this is a bit more like it. This is how we should have been playing against Real Madrid, to be fair. James threads it through to Fratisi. Fratisi puts his name on the block, I think, for a start against Real Madrid. Dalot to Stash. Maguire. Stash. And Garcia's cut that out. Timber. Kovacic over the top looking for Havertz. Havertz is in and it's number 3. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, whoa. To be honest, I've lost now how many goals Havertz has scored this season. He must be on about 42, I would have guessed. Over the top. Havertz runs onto it, controls it on his chest, chips the goalkeeper. Maguire just chasing the ball. It's 3-0. Question of offside again. Can't see the line here, but I'm trusting that it's onside. Didn't go to VAR. And halftime comes. And 2 goals from Kai Havertz and a goal from Fratisi, making us 3-0 at halftime at Old Trafford. Wow. I'd say I didn't expect that. I was expecting this to be really, really tough. I suppose shouldn't count our chickens at this moment in time. They've had 10 shots. We've had 10 shots, 7 on target. 2.01, 48% of the possession. They've had the bulk of the possession, 52% of it. They've only had 2 shots, though, one of which is on target. 0.14 on the old XG. Good first half, and we could do with more of the same in the second, and then carry that forward to our game against Real Madrid. Mount with a corner. First highlight of the second half. It's headed out. Kovacic. Fratisi to Mount. Mount. 4-0. Question of offside, though. And if this stands 4-0 up after 48, would be rather good. I don't think it's been disallowed, I think. Oh, no, it's not. It stood. Mount had tracked back onside. He was onside. Well onside. Don't know what the referee was thinking about. 4-0. And 48 minutes on the clock. There we are. He's onside. At least 3 defenders playing him on. And with 56 on the clock, we're going to make a couple of changes with the second leg of the Champions League match expected to come along. We've taken off Ben Chilwell, our usual change. Mark Cucurella coming on for him because we want to rest him. We want him to be able to make a start in the next match if we can. And Kingsley Koeman He's come off. He's not had too bad a game, but he's off. And Matthias Tell is on for him. Matthias Tell prefers to play as an inside forward, so we will switch him to an inside forward. They are the changes for the moment. Manchester United have a free kick. It's Christian Eriksen over the ball, swings it in, and they've got one back through Maguire. His first goal of the season, and it's 4-1. Yeah, disappointing. And with 67 minutes on the clock, we made our final three changes. Kovacic coming off. Fernandes coming on for him as the deep-lying playmaker. We've also taken off Reece James. Garcia moving out to the right. Fofana comes on in central defence for him. And Mason Mount. These are all really to protect them for the game against Real Madrid. Mason Mount, he's off. And Dewsbury Hall comes on in that central midfield. And he's come on as attacking playmaker. Cucurella with a throw. It's headed our way by Maguire for a TC. Kovacic. Change has not been made then yet. Kovacic into the area. Has a shot. Has two shots. It's gone out for a corner. Wan-Bissaka, who's come on for Manchester United. And they're moving the ball around nicely. They're probably the most we've seen of Manchester United, but Tell gets a foot in and breaks up the play for Fofana, who's come on in the back there. Timber. Yaron Timber playing centrally today, of course. Garcia comes forward. He's out on that wing. Garcia. Can he get the ball into the box? No, he cuts it back for Fratisi. It's gone in again. Matthias Tell, his 7th goal of the season. It's 5-1. 5-1 against Manchester United at Old Trafford. I keep repeating that because we couldn't do it in the FA Cup. Or the Carabao Cup, was it? The Carabao Cup, I think. Fratisi again, I like him. He's, I think we really need to play him, and he's playing in a good role as well. Garcia, and could there be more goals in this yet? Sterling looking for Havertz, didn't find him. Fernandes through to Havertz. Havertz looking for his hat-trick, of course. Sterling now. Sterling weaving around, and Fratisi gets his second goal, his second of the game. It's 6-1. What is going on? We've just seemed to open the floodgates. I think the Real Madrid's really peed the team off. And just shows you how one result can cause a crescendo. And Fratisi doing really well. Manchester United, Eriksen swings that in. All just gone over the top. I think it was Varane that got his head on that. No more highlights. You've had a lot. 20 shots, 12 on target. 3.58, so 4 goals, 49% of the possession. They had 6 shots, 3 on target, 0.39, 51%. I think they saw the wrath of our loss against Real Madrid, and a player of the match for Davide Frantesi. I would, when you think we've got 2 for the price of 1. I mean, Declan Rice was good, but Fratisi and Givaldi, who's out injured when he's back in that central defence. I mean, to be honest, he has played a master. He's been, excuse me, our phone's going and all sorts here. He's just been a master in that midfield today. Exactly what we needed. And we must remember to play him exactly the same in the game against Real Madrid, because if he can play the same against Real Madrid, I really do think we can overturn that two goal deficit. Let's hope we can. Well, I have to say, I don't think anybody had a poor game against Manchester United there, and just shows you we've really struggled against them in recent times. And if that's a little bit of a pump up for the return match against Real Madrid, I don't know what is. Let's hope that we can turn that into something against Real Madrid. So that's how we have ended the episode. We are 12 points clear of Manchester City because they lost to Liverpool. I didn't tell you that before the start of the game, because if the disappointment had come about that we'd lost again to Manchester United, it wouldn't have been quite so bad because the gap wouldn't have changed. but by virtue of Manchester City losing to Liverpool, we have opened a 12-point gap at the top. I think, I'll say this, I put my head on the chopping block, I think we're pretty much safe that we've retained the Premier League. Can't win the Champions League, but we've retained the Premier League, and I suppose all we've got to go for now is Premier League and FA Cup, the domestic double, as it were. So that's how it's ended. 6-1 against Manchester United. 2 goals from Havertz, 2 goals from TC, Mount and Tell also getting on the score sheet. That's how it's ended. We'll have a final check on the Premier League table in just a moment. Well, there we are. That is a good way to end the episode. A 6-1 win against, a shame we didn't complete a clean sheet, really, wasn't it, to end the episode. And that takes our Premier League run to 19 games unbeaten in the Premier League. So that is a pretty good form, all told. Let's hope we can transpose that game into the game against Real Madrid midweek. Coming back, of course, for Real Madrid and Leicester in the next episode, Champions League round of 16. Second leg, 2-0 down at half-time, and an FA Cup quarter-final against Leicester. Can we repeat the win against them in the Premier League just recently? Let's hope so, and then we'll see how that pans out for the episodes after that. Coming down towards the culmination of our season, of course, and theoretically our last season here at Chelsea. The series will end at the end of this one, even if we don't win the Champions League, which is really annoying. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all future episodes of Making Chelsea Stand Proud, and our other series, of course, To Be a Legend. And, of course, when a new series comes out, we're going to run in late, and I've got a few thoughts about that, especially with the announcement that Football Manager have made. So we'll talk about that in due course, and it'll keep you up to date with when they are released. If you want to keep up to date what's happening on this channel in general, then the best way to do it is follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. New episodes Making Chelsea Stand Proud are released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15, and the next episode is episode 93. It's out on Tuesday, so have yourselves a very good weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday. Until then, goodbye.